These are the official receipts. Kitchen renovation can range in scope and cost in so many different ways. So this is how to save money during your kitchen renovations, including exactly how much we spent, well, ballpark, and what is worth spending the money on. Our initial decision was just to renovate the kitchen, but we were approached by Samsung, and I remember thinking this is getting way too complicated because if you remember, this is where the fridge used to be. I guess I'm very aware of the idea that we don't know what we're doing. I'm glad that we ultimately decided to shift the fridge over. It did change the scope instantly though, because that means that we needed new base cabinets, new electrical, and new plumbing. But we were already thinking of doing a bit of electrical work, and then also discovered as we were demolishing that there was a lot of electrical work to do anyways. You kind of have a ballpark range of how much you think it will cost with a lot of cushioning. Steph and I have a joint savings account, so it's always well cushioned for rainy days, travel, and since we haven't been outside of Canada in many years, this money went towards the home. Steph and I are very money conscious people, so on top of that, as well as saving on labor, we had a lot of flexibility for spending on things that we wanted to do in the kitchen. Before building anything, there's demolition, and we learned when moving in that ripping up the baseboards and the quarter rounds very carelessly costed us a lot of time and money. It looks and feels great on TV. There are a lot of things that if you take the time and effort to remove consciously, you can save it for the future. And I strongly believe that you could do demolition better than a pro because you're the one that's going to be taking the time and effort to remove things mindfully. The biggest money saver aside from labor was deciding to keep our cabinets, and I don't love our shaker doors. I feel like it was a worthy compromise for what we could afford. There are a lot of companies that can replace doors nowadays, and they're pretty affordable with an average cost about $10 per square feet or $50 a door. We have about 22 doors, but they don't include things like gable ends, cabinet spacers, that one piece that we have above the sink, toe kicks, let alone cabinet boxes, and hardware. These are all extra little things that you need because having a door that doesn't match your exterior box looks very strange. Until you realize that they're mismatched, these are things that pull the whole kitchen cabinet together, and it can really draw your eye towards the mistakes if you have something that's contrasting. Our kitchen cabinets are also maple, so we decided that painting was our best option. Material choices are also very important to contributing to your overall cost. I think there's a balance between preserving original features that are quality, like maple cabinets, and I know that there are new materials that are just as durable that can save you money. Vinyl flooring is both waterproof and very durable. Our house is vinyl flooring and we really enjoy it. Price comparison is also very important, and Home Depot has such a good return policy. They have a 90-day window, so whatever we didn't end up using and things that had, issues like our cabinet primer, we were able to return very easily. With the amount of trips that we made to Home Depot, all I kept seeing when I was doing my receipts are, did we nail it? Did we nail it? Did we nail it? And if you have a small kitchen, there are endless options to buy secondhand, even brand new things that were a fraction of the cost for things like tiles, appliances, as well as hardware. We decided to remove upper cabinets on one side of the shelf and replace it with floating shelving. Because we had to build base cabinets on this side, we determined the dimensions of our base cabinets based on existing doors that we had from those upper cabinets. So these 3 doors behind me are actually what used to be upper door cabinets. Although cabinet door widths can vary, cabinet door lengths tend to all be 30 inches tall, upper or lower. For our first renovation, we were extremely inefficient and very disorganized. But the next time that I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna definitely shop for materials ahead of time, especially when you already have the dimensions. Timelines and stress can make you spend a lot more than you think you need to. If we're gonna break it down by material, starting with backsplash, it was about $9 to $10 per square feet. And for our size of kitchen, that was $325. Floor tile was $8 per square feet. And for our kitchen, that's about 100, how many square feet? 140 square feet. That was $1,200. Supplies, things like paint, cement, plywood, drywall, that added all up to about $2,500. Tools like our paint sprayer, tent, Craig jigs, a foldable table, which I very much love, is $1,000. Fixtures like our sink, our faucet, hardware, that was all about $1,100. And countertops, which includes install, was $2,500. Very luckily, we had our appliances gifted, so that cancels out a huge chunk of costs. Materials alone, everything costed about $86.25. This is like ballpark. Now, if you're thinking of only tackling portions of your kitchen and not doing all of it, this is about how much things cost by task. I also have approximate labor costs, though I know that that varies greatly, but these are some of the things that I was quoted. Painting the cabinets, including building new cabinets, it was $700 for us. If you're thinking of getting that painted professionally, somebody to come in, tape everything up and spray, it costs about $5,000 to $10,000 just to paint the cabinets. Drywall was very cheap, that was $200. Process of tiling, backsplash, as well as the floor costed us about $2,500 to $3,000. Let's just say $3,000 to do all of it on our own. We were quoted $5,000. And that doesn't include material. Electrical was about $200, so like new wall sockets, wiring stuff. Plumbing was about $100. Ductwork and ventilation was $150, and our countertops was $2,500. It's the labor that'll always get you. Now, what was worth the money? I don't know if Steph agrees. I would definitely do it again, but if we were able to find a floor tiler, I guess I would have gone with it. $6,000 sounds like a lot of money, but it is sort of like a make or break task that is also the first thing that needs to get done before you can do anything else. So if you can get it out of the way, it might be worth it, especially if the cost of messing up can be very expensive. If you're very lucky, you can find a subcontractor that can complete one-off tasks. The contractor usually oversees an entire project, so they're the ones that hire a bunch of subcontractors to complete the job for you. You're paying for their expertise and their skill for project management, as well as things like sourcing material and just having the network to know how to get the job done and complete it in time. A lot of it is finding the businesses that aren't on Google, have no reviews or even a website. A good example of this is the windows, and we very late in the game decided that maybe we should replace our windows. They're very old. There was one time where I was out and Steph had to sit through a 2-hour presentation with a window company who he asked explicitly over and over again, can I just get a number? They were saying, oh, but your wife isn't here and she needs to make a design decision. You know, I'm sure it's very important to her. I got so fed up that I found a window installer, and they barely had a website, but after on the phone, they were able to tell me the cost of a window replacement based on dimension and type alone. That was it. But it's pretty easy to tell that if someone is not willing to be transparent with you, they're probably not worth hiring. Also, replacing the trim around the window helped modernize it a lot. A very, very cheap way to not replace your windows. But installing certain things can definitely be DIY-able because an installer can cost up to $100 an hour. If you have the ductwork in place, something like installing a wall-mounted microwave is very DIYable. I would say a quartz countertop is very worth it. For $2,500, I don't even think it was 25. I think it was like 22 something, almost 23. It included multiple visits, measurement, install, and material. I often see in home listings that quartz is like a big selling feature. For the value that it brings into the home, I'd say it's a worthy investment. I also had the company cut me an extra piece that I made into a windowsill, and that was only an extra $130. You can cut your own material if it's like a butcher block or laminate. I think that laminate still has a far way to go when it comes to countertop. You just can't replicate that feel and look. And our techs installed our sink for us since it's undermount. I don't want to be tone deaf, but I think that appliances are worth the spend. The good thing is that if you want to replace your appliances, a lot of things come in standard sizes and can be replaced afterwards. The thing that I would have replaced first is the fridge for sure, because it comes in a lot of different sizes. Counter depth, full depth, extra wide, like this one is very wide. But microwave, stove, and dishwasher tend to come in same width, and replacing our appliances really changed the entire look of the kitchen. I think it brought everything together. If you want to follow our home journey, please be sure to subscribe. And if you want behind the scenes, up-to-date content, you can find me on all social at LetitiaQ. See you guys next time.